These days, professing to have a BMX background to your mountain biking buddies is kind of the equivalent of claiming to be cool or hardcore. The second you do it, the moment you disqualify yourself from actually being one of those two things. So why then am I making a video today telling you why you should have a BMX background? Well, I'm glad you asked, because today I'm putting aside the big bike and instead I'm going back to my roots and I'm picking up the BMX. And I'm gonna tell you 3 reasons why I think you should be spending a little bit more time on a smaller bike, like a BMX bike or a dirt jumper. At the end of the video, I'm also gonna fill you in on a little challenge that I have for myself during the month of May, which also just happens to be National Bike Month, to help me spend a little bit more time on my BMX bike. Last thing, before we dive into that first reason, as you probably noticed, I still haven't gotten over my cold yet, so if you wanna send me some good vibes by hitting that like button and the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Modern mountain bikes, with their long frames and long, finely tuned suspension, allow us to push them harder and ride faster than just about any other generation of mountain bikers before us. But there is a bit of a drawback in that, namely, you lose a lot of that bike-rider feedback or connection, and with that, you lose some finesse. And that's the #1 reason why I think a lot of mountain bikers should be spending more time on a bike like a BMX bike. Bikes like this, with its 20-inch wheel, small compact frame, and obviously no suspension, has a whole lot less room for error. And what that means is you really have to fine-tune your body positioning and body movements. And learning to do that on a BMX bike will of course carry over to the mountain bike, where yes, you do have more room for error, but the closer you get to that kind of perfect body position, the better rider, the faster rider, more stylish rider you're gonna end up being. Another thing that it can help with is actually learning new skills. Again, like I said a second ago, on these big travel, long mountain bikes, we lose some of that connection to the bike, which can make it harder to get the feedback we need when learning new things. Specifically things like jumping, manuals, wheelies, bunny hops, skills like that where so much of your energy is just absorbed in the suspension. So learning skills like that on your BMX bike or on your dirt jumper will make it significantly easier to then transfer it over to your enduro or trail bike. So to summarize, the first reason why I think you guys should be spending more time on your BMX bike this season is that BMX bikes just allow you to learn skills in a different way and arguably learn different skills more easily than you would on your mountain bike. The second reason why I think you guys should pick up a BMX bike or a dirt jumper this season is because it's easy. And when I say easy, I don't necessarily mean that the bikes are easier to ride, but it's just really easy to find a place to go and ride them. Obviously, most of us here in the Northern Hemisphere are now coming out of winter, and it's been a pretty long winter, so we're all excited for our mountain bike trails to be drying up, and that's great, but on some of those cruddy weather days when the trails are muddy or for other reasons you can't make it to your local mountain bike trails, you can ride a BMX bike or a dirt jumper pretty much anywhere. So the next time that you want to go ride bikes but don't have the time to pack up your mountain bike and all your gear and drive to the trailhead, go ahead and grab your kid's BMX bike or that old dirt jumper you bought off Pink Bike and just go ride around your neighborhood. Practice doing some bunny hop 180s and some manuals, and I promise that will translate to your mountain bike riding down the road. The third and final reason why I think you should lean into or even create your own BMX background is because BMX is just inherently fun. And of course, mountain biking is too. It's tons of fun to rip down the mountain, try to set fast Strava times and race with your buddies, but that inherently leads to a kind of competitive nature that BMX oftentimes doesn't really have. And I'm guessing that pretty much everyone watching this channel is like me. We're not professional athletes and we're never going to be professional athletes, so really the only reason that we ride bikes is for fun. And I see a lot of mountain bikers get burnt out on the competitive side of it. I think that by spending more time on a BMX bike where it's entirely skills-based, just trying to push yourself to learn new things and do things that feel fun or look cool, can positively impact the way you think about mountain biking. It turns into less of a race or a contest to see who has the fastest climb or the fastest descent, but more just a time to go out there, connect with your bike, connect with nature, and enjoy yourself. And it's this third reason, the fun part of it, that I'm making myself a challenge to spend more time on my BMX bike. I hardly ever ride this thing anymore, and honestly, the biggest reason for that is that my RSD middle child, sitting over there, is such a fun bike, it almost feels like a BMX bike, but I've sort of lost that fun component that I used to get all the time by riding this bike here. So my goal is that for the next 30 days, or in other words, the month of May, like I said earlier, which is National Bike Month, I'm gonna go ahead and ride this BMX bike every single day. And I'm gonna hold myself accountable by filming a clip of me riding every day. And at the end of the month, I'm gonna compile those all together and share my experience of riding this bike every day with you guys here on YouTube. And as you probably guessed, I want you guys to do the same. Now, I'm guessing a lot of you probably have an old BMX bike or dirt jumper, or maybe your kid does, but even if you don't, you can get a decent quality BMX bike for less than $500. And if that's still out of your budget, no worries, you can do it on your mountain bike. But take some time to reconnect with the fun part of mountain biking. Go out to your local skate park or even just the cul-de-sac in front of your house and practice doing bunny hops, manuals, 180s. Maybe take a video of yourself doing something and show your buddy. Let's embrace the fun side of mountain biking, because I think too many of us are too focused on results and racing. Not only that, but I think spending more time working on those kind of rudimentary skills that BMX emphasizes will also make you a better mountain biker. And when you do go back and enter a race, I think you'll end up being faster because of it too. So I hope all of you guys take me up in this challenge of riding your BMX bike or even just your mountain bike in a fun way every single day during National Bike Month. And if you're choosing to do that, let me know in the comments so I can give you a thumbs up and we can stay connected and motivate each other over this next month. While you're down there, please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. That means a lot to me. And then once you've done that, go out there, wipe the dust off that old BMX bike and get ready, because tomorrow is May 1st and we're gonna be riding these bikes every day. And hopefully I'll see you on the trails, or in this case, the skate park.